What was the influence in your childhood that led you into the IRA?
Well, to a certain extent, I was born into a revolutionary situation. My parents were involved, as long as I can remember them, in revolutionary movements for the liberation of Ireland, for the liberation of other countries, of India and Egypt and other colonial areas of the world. And so I was born into that kind of atmosphere and was quite used to it. Naturally, I learned a lot about Ireland as a child from my parents, and so I was involved right from the beginning of my childhood in the tradition of Irish liberation, of anti-colonialism, and the beginning of the concepts of the protection of human rights.
Your father was executed by the British when you were 12 years old. What effect did it have on you?
That, of course, had a very deep impact on it. I learned of it at school, and I learned of it at school from the rector of the school, Jesuit school in Paris, who I must say did an extremely good job of breaking the news to me, saying, well, boys, fathers and brothers are being killed the whole time. They're all fighting for the freedom of small nations. You're Irish. Your father was fighting for liberation of his country, and he has died now for freedom of small nations.
You joined the IRA as a teenager. You were a street fighter and a gun runner. What was the feeling of being in the IRA? Street fighter.
Wondering when you were going really to be able to do something useful. Most of the time it was very dull, very dreary. You were sent out on patrol different streets, armed, and kept on patrolling streets for hours on end at night, without quite knowing why you were doing it, or what particular thing what particular action you would take at any given moment. And then later on, particular ambushes were organized.
To become the distinguished man of peace that you have, did that come from this baptism of violence?
I'm sure it had something to do with it. You realize how appalling violence was, you know?
I mean, for instance, did you yourself ever kill as a member of the IRA in those days?
I have no idea. I certainly threw hand grenades and fired machine guns and in the direction of British forces. That's a question. If you didn't fire yourself, you'd probably get killed yourself.
You're a distinguished lawyer, but in your lifetime, you've operated many times outside the law. Now, when, in your view, is that justified?
Yes, but